Guys, welcome back to the joint. And of course, you know that it is Friday or Saturday, whenever I get the chance to load this thing up. But we have baseball expert here with Latino Sports, Julian Gallardi. And Julian, it's good to have you back. The other video, your power rankings, they've switched a little bit, haven't they? Welcome to the joint. The joint. Thing. Well, the first thing you said, well, this is a sad show for me today. This is a sad show.
Oh yeah,
I don't see anything on the list that's gonna make me happy at all today. And so the first thing, I guess, let's just get it out of the way. Otani shuts down the Mets
yeah,
with
I
10
sure did.
strikeouts.
Yep,
What do you make of this? Because here's my mind of Otani. From what I've seen, he can be lights out, but then there's days where one side of the ball is better than the other, and the other side isn't better. Are the Dodgers utilizing him up to his potential from what you've seen?
absolutely. Otani's still one of the game's best players, and they actually just had him pitch that day. He wasn't in the lineup the day he had the 10 strikeouts, so maybe they're trying to shift things more so when he pitches, he just throws the ball. Maybe that'll help him pitch better. And so far, he's pitching really well. He has a .5 ERA in three starts. He's been pretty dominant, and he was really good against the Mets. He only gave up one run against the Mets in 6 innings with the 10 Ks, and he rolls them over really. And the Mets are really struggling as a whole right now. So is it how good is he doing and how bad are they? Like the pitches were sharp, I'm not gonna lie, but the Mets also can't hit much right now. And they're on an 8 game losing streak. The first game of the series, they dropped 2-1. They had a leadoff homer from Lindor, nothing the rest of the night. And they lost the game late 2-1. And things are really sputtering for the Mets right now. And they need a win in the worst way possible because the heat's turning up on Carlos Mendoza and the New York media out here. If the losing streak gets really bad, no one who knows what could happen. But I'm not saying they're itching to get rid of him, but the Mets better win the game soon.
Okay, so I mean, you pointed out some things. That's why that hits home. It hits home a
I'm
little too
sorry to say, but
hard.
they're looking awful right now. Their offense without Juan Soto is very anemic.
It's one thing to not be a good team and have a low budget. It's one thing to spend a lot of money and still be trash, ass.
That's what makes this situation very tough for the Mets because it's not like they're not spending money. You can't say that's not why they're playing well, but they're not spending it properly, clearly in certain areas. I mean, your best player is missing, but even before he went down, it's not like everything was like operating as it should anyway. So, I mean, look, it's an early season struggle. Like the Mets have a lot of time to get it right. I think they're only 5 out still, so it's not like their season's lost or anything, but they really got to start playing better. Otherwise, like people are going to be looking for changes.
Right, right. And then you did say you went to opening games, so let's talk about that for a second. You got to see Manny Pacquiao throw out the pitch.
I actually wasn't there that day, unfortunately, but he was. It was. I think he. It was the day I wasn't there because I went Friday and Saturday. I think you did it Sunday, maybe.
Oh, okay.
But either way, I mean, that was a cool thing to see. I was at the game Tuesday, so I've done three Yankees games this year, and it's been a good time so far. The Angels really got took it to the Yankees, but we'll touch on that later with the Mike Trout stuff and everything.
Welcome to the joint. The joint. So, Julian, you were talking about the Mets, and obviously spending doesn't always get you to where you need to get to. I guess the Dodgers get to do whatever they want to do. But talk to me about Jose Fernandez of the Diamondbacks, the D-backs. He still seems to be rolling in really well with everyone. He seems to still be getting things done.
Yeah, and the Diamondbacks are 11-8. They're looking good right now. They obviously were in an extremely tough division because the Padres are 13-6, and they're a very good team as well. But the Diamondbacks have that wild card window open still. I think they're always gonna have a shot as long as they're playing good baseball. They gotta win 85 to 90 games to probably look at that. I know it's early in the year, but if you want to get the playoff spot for them, you're looking at 85 to 90 wins at least. And the
85 to
Diamond
90 wins. Okay.
yeah, at the end of the year, if you want to see them make the playoffs, they got to be somewhere in that range. So the Diamondbacks have a shot. Fernandez has two bombs and eight RBIs in the year. He's hitting over 300, so he's looking pretty good. He had a multi-hit game against the Orioles. The Diamondbacks had a really bad loss against the Orioles, so I think it was a good series, but they were up 6-1 one game and they blew it and they
Yeah.
ended up losing, so that
It's
wasn't good,
that bullpen.
obviously.
That bullpen. Wouldn't you say it's the bullpen? That
Yeah,
bullpen is not
yeah,
is sus.
their bullpen is not great. It's definitely a problem. They don't have like the high end elite talent you want in there. I know they have a Weisiger from the Yankees, but he's really not what he used to be either. So, yeah, there's bullpen's an issue. Their starting pitcher is better than I thought it would be. Merrill Kelly returned. He's a decent.
Yep.
Soroka's been good so far. You still want more to Zach Gallen. Brandon Pfaadt's a little up and down for me, but they still have a lot of talent, especially in the lineup. So I think the D-backs and Fernandez has been a spark for them. He's been a consistent hitter, balancing out the lineup. So he's definitely doing a good job so far, and he's earned his keep with the D-backs. And he's also playing. He's been at first, so that's kind of where they're having him hold it down since they don't really have other first
They
baseman.
had a game in there where there was a lot of errors. Whether
Yeah.
couldn't see the ball or I think it was the Phillies game. There
Oh
was
yeah,
a
they
little bit
struggled against the Phillies.
there was a
Yeah.
little bit of an issue there with the ball. But hey, look, I'm in Arizona. I'm all about the youth movement. That's what we're calling it, the youth movement this year, and about moving forward. Now let's just talk about really quick your Tigers. You had to eat it last week. I had to tell
Okay.
you, you said they should be doing better. They should be doing better. They might have hurt you this week. What's going on with them?
There's a lot of good stuff going on with Detroit now. They've won six in a row. They had a wild walk-off win today. They were up 6-1 and they were down 9-7 in the ninth, and they scored 3 runs in the ninth to win the game for six in a row. They also signed a rookie to an 8-year extension for $150 million. I think is a really good deal. It's Kevin McConaughey. He has a really good eye at the plate. He has walked more than he struck out so far.
What
He's
position
hitting.
does he play?
He's a third baseman. He's a natural shortstop, but they have him playing third right now because of how their team's set up. And so he's their third baseman. He's playing well at defense too. He has a good WAR already over one. He's hitting like 311, has a homer, around 8 RBI or so, and his OPS is over 900. So everything's looking good for him so far. He kind of reminds me of Dustin Pedroia a little bit because like the size and the makeup. And his favorite player is actually Chase Utley, which is a cool player to have as a favorite because he was the guy who grew up in the Pennsylvania area. So he gets a life-changing deal now. I think it's good for him because, like, if he gets hurt now, he still gets paid, obviously, and he could still be a free agent when his age 30 or 29 season, so he can still secure another huge contract if he lives up to what he's supposed to be. But the Tigers get him under control for a few more years, and his salary's way higher now than it would have been
Okay, so
like on his rookie deal.
you're talking about one player, but tell me about Detroit in general. You said
Okay.
you see good.
Well, yeah, so Riley Green's gone going for them a little bit. Jack Flaherty was good the other night. They swept the Royals. They're back to I think they're 10-9 now. So they have a winning record again. They're not too far off the pace for the Central now. And like I said, I think it's all gonna come together. It's a really bad start for them. And they still have Tarek Skubal, who's one of the best pitchers in baseball, and Framber Valdez is a new acquisition who's doing pretty well too. And then their offense is clicking. This guy Cole Keith hit a walk off today. He's hitting in the 300s, and Gleyber Torres has to get it going a little bit for them, but he's still there. And
Do you think that
there was a big thing actually with
April
them.
do you think April has kind of been like I said, I've said this to you several times. I think it's crap. April is spring training.
And it
It's
is,
regular
yeah, a
season
little
games
bit.
and it's spring training, it feels like.
Yeah,
Is
that's
there
why like I wasn't that worried.
welcome to the joint. The joint.
entertaining, obviously, but we'll see how things shape up for them. They have a good roster, which is why I have high expectations for them. And I think they won a lot of games at home with the crowds getting into it. McConaughey, the guy hit the homer off Sandy Alcantara, actually. That was his first major league homer, the guy who signed the deal. And that was a big thing that kind of jump sparked them. They had a guy come in and replace an injured player. Wenzel Perez had a game-winning homer the other night. It was 1-1. He had the homer to make it 2-1, and then they closed the door tonight. Actually, the biggest thing with the Tigers is none of that. It's Kenley Jensen. Kenley Jensen moves into third place all time in the saves list. He passes Lee
Oh,
Smith.
okay.
He's at 480 saves now. Definitely going to be a future Hall of Famer. He's closing in on 500. He's not going to catch Hoffman and Mariano, but he's still a Hall of Famer, and he's had an incredible career. And now he's trying to chase another ring with the Tigers. That's why he went there. He does have one championship with the Dodgers, though, but he wants to end his career on a high note, obviously, and he's doing well for them so far.
I think that when we look at back at this era of baseball, it's going to be one that welcome to the joint. The joint. Welcome to the joint. The joint.
So here, Rob is such a roller coaster because, like, there's going to be two lockouts under him. The first one was in 2021, and he also had to deal with the pandemic, which wasn't easy. So I don't know how anyone else would have handled that differently. He hasn't been the best to me though, just because like I don't feel like he's adaptable that much. Although he is changing a lot of stuff. The pitch clock is not my favorite thing, but I know a lot of people like it. So I guess I have to give him credit for that. Um, he also like the thing that bothers me is like the TV situation he's created is a mess. Like that's one problem. I feel like he's too for the owners, which I know is part of his job. He like has to have the players' backs a little more, in my opinion. He really just works for the owners, which I guess is his job title. Um, he's had some games in neutral site places, which have been cool.
What
Like
is
the
what is impactful that you think that is really like when we look back at this, you as a baseball writer, I know you said you don't like him, you said you're not a fan of him, but what do you think? What is the legacy? What is the one thing? Every
well,
commissioner has to
okay.
put their thumb on something. What?
Okay, I mean, he called the World Series trophy a piece of metal, so there's that as well, which I also don't, which I just don't think he's a good commissioner, honestly. So, like, I don't have a positive legacy spin for him, but like, I guess the one thing I'll give him credit for is like being willing to make the game better, like this pace of play and like implementing the ABS and growing, helping grow the game more internationally because he has done decent with that. So I'll say that much. Like, he actually went to Puerto Rico, so I'll give him credit for that. So I
Would
mean,
you
like.
say that Roger Goodell is the better corporate? Because Rob Manfred's kind of corporate, but
Yeah,
Roger Goodell
which is
knows
why
how
I
to
don't like him that
corporate
much.
and balance it. He
Yeah.
he knows how to, well, he's doing his best. He's getting paid a lot to do it.
Hmm.
But yeah, I just wanted to know if Bud Selig for me will always be known as the guy that had a tie in the All-Star game,
Yeah.
in the biggest game, the All-Star game. Bud Selig, I remember him waving his hand like this and like because what was it, 17 innings, 18 innings, 19 innings?
That was the Milwaukee game. I remember they ran out of pitchers. Yeah.
Welcome to the joint. The joint. When we look back at baseball, we're gonna see Rob Manfred and you're gonna look at it the way that it is. We have to go to our top movies now, selection.
Oh,
Because
okay.
around this time was when a lot of good movies came out. But at the same time, what are Julian Gallardi? I'm gonna take it from the fan side and my side. I'm 1988. What are you, Julian? What's
I'm 92.
92? So we got different years. Julian, let's go from worst. to first again today on the
All right.
best of the baseball classic. Worst to first.
All right, number five might surprise you, but I know you'll like the movie, but you're gonna be shocked it's in my top five. And maybe it's just because I saw it when I was growing up as a kid and I resonated with it. But I'm going with Bernie Mac, the legend R.I.P. Mr. 3000 comes in the number five. Because the storyline of the guy chasing the 3,000 hits and coming out of retirement after like how he left the team like a hothead and everything was just like really compelling to me. Obviously, I know it's a fake storyline, but I was really invested into the movie and I thought it was really well done. And then Birdie was obviously great too, but like Mr. 3000 shockingly ranks number five for me.
Do you
How
see when you see, have you met players? I know you meet younger players, but when you
yeah.
meet the older players, like, do you see the people that are trying their best to hold on to whatever they got as a reporter? Like, do you
Hmm.
ever feel that? Like, you're like,
Yeah, yeah, like there's some guys that are like even younger that are like kind of teetering on majors and minors, like floating around AAA, like independent leagues. And one guy was like, I just want to keep the jersey on as long as I can. So obviously, though, he's trying to hold on clearly, but I could sense some of it. Like some of the guys that are older, it depends how long I've been around them and like who they are and what I know. But yeah, sometimes I guess I could.
okay. And so you said Mr. 3000. You know what I'm going to combat that with? Mine is but I wish I had wrote it down, but I'm going to put it in honorable mentions later. But
Okay.
what my five is Little Big League.
Okay.
That's with the rookie. I think that's with the kid
Is that
that
the
has
Cubs guy? Is that the
that,
Cubs guy
yeah, he
who?
has the
Oh,
arm
okay.
and then he loses the
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That was in my honorable mention list, I think.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Number four now. Here we go. Best baseball movies. Here we go.
Okay, so this is a little challenging because I have a nice list here, but now the question is how do I order them? Like I think I'm gonna go with For the Love of the Game number four with Kevin Costner and when he's on the Tigers and stuff. I thought that was a really good movie. I thought it was just like a good storyline, like how there's a girl involved in like how he has a good career and like he's trying to hold on and that he thinks he's cooked and he ends up having like the best year ever and then he walks off into the sunset and I like how it shows the old Yankee Stadium too, so it has a soft spot for me and how it shows a lot of stuff about like major league fields. Like I like when they incorporate the fields in the movie, so I just thought it was a cool movie and Costner's obviously made for baseball movies, so I think it was
I
good.
mean, okay, so just to push back, not Bull Durham. Sounds like
I
the
li
same story.
Yeah, I like Bull Durham too. I just I did watch that one. I don't know. Most people like it more than I do, I think. It's not that I didn't like it, but it's not like it's in my honorable list, so and that's
Okay.
controversial, I know.
Okay. All right. No, I'm just saying it's close. Okay. What I'm gonna counter you with on four is 42 with
I
Jackie
was
Robinson.
That was really close for me as well. I almost put that in it. I could have probably removed one of the ones I just said and replaced it with that, but that's high on the list for me as well, so I respect that
You
choice.
know what I was thinking, and I would love to talk to you about this more at one point, is the Frank Robinson. His career as a baseball player and then a manager, being
Hmm.
a baseball player and then the man. He was the longtime manager of the Expos and even transitioned when they became the Nationals. You know Frank Robinson, the manager?
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah.
I know. I obviously know as a player. What was the other team he managed? There was two teams. Was it Cardinals or was he play for the Cardinals? That's what
I
I'm going.
don't know. I
He
don't know.
managed two teams though, or he ends up
But
managing Baltimore at some point.
he was always an Expo and then a National all the way through for me. I don't remember what else, but Frank Robinson is a underrated, I think is underrated.
Of course, I mean he's one of the best players ever, and he had a good managerial career too. I gotta look to see what other team he did. Now I'm actually gonna look. You have me very curious now. I'm trying because I
Frank
know he
Robinson was a
managed
good
two
guy. He was a
teams.
good, honorable man, good manager, always kept teams that were below the budget, below the
Yeah.
budget,
So I
way.
have his teams. Indians from 97 to 90, from 95 to 97. He took a few years off. Then he returned with the Giants 81 to 84. Then the Orioles for 88 to 91. And then he came back, as you said, with the Expos and Nationals.
Okay. Yeah, no, we got to do something on him. I feel like I don't know if he's passed away. I think he has.
He not yeah,
So,
2020, 2019. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Frank, thanks for everything, Frank. You know, here we have it three, Julian.
Three is really interesting because I have a revolving door of the top three. Now the top three are very interchangeable for me, and the two at the top are kind of probably what everyone would do. And for number three, we're gonna go with The Sandlot.
Okay. Give me a reason. What's your history with it?
The Sandlot's cool because like it just has like the incorporated storyline of like the kids playing in the backyard and like they get the Babe Ruth pop-ins and stuff, how like with the cards and everything, and I just think it's a cool little thing how they build the fields and they play in the lot and all that. And I think it's just a classic storyline how they put it all together. I just like the whole concept of it, and it's just like one of those good base.
So for me to counter that, I gotta go with I gotta go with Major League One.
Okay, Major
And
League
so
One
I'm
is
going with
actually
Major League One.
I
I
like it
think
too.
the scene where Willie Mays Hayes, everybody's driving up, they're driving up to spring training. I think that's a great shot if you remember it.
Of course, I
They're
do.
all driving up. Uh
Hmm.
and yeah, I think it's a great shot right there. Major League One. Major League One, and of course, the whole revealing of the, pulling it off every win. It's very sexist, but it's a good old movie. Okay, here we go. Two. Let's speed it up here a little bit.
Okay, well, number two is Major League One for me. I'm putting Major League
Okay.
Two second, so I like the
Oh,
movie as well. I think it's funny. The storyline with Charlie Sheen is great. I like how they have them like in the stadium and all that fun stuff, and it makes it look realistic because it's like in the Major League clubhouse and all that. So I've always liked that movie. And then I have an honorable mention on Save for Later, but my top choice, I think you'll really like it. I want to see how you
okay.
view it, but
Give me my number two. So my number two is A League of Their Own. With
yes.
the females. And I think that that is so heartfelt and so warming. The females stepped up, played baseball. I don't think that baseball recognizes it enough. The a league of their own. I think it's a big thing. I really think it's a big thing for baseball, having females play males because males were at war. I really think we
Hmm.
should be thinking about that more often, honestly.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a
so number one.
I like them with an honorable mention. I thought of that as well. And then I'll give you another fun honorable mention after one. Number one, The Field of Dreams, number one. Field of Dreams is a great movie. The cornfields and like
I
the whole
find it
setup.
so boring.
I think
I
it's
can't.
great, like how they go to Fenway and stuff, and then they go back to the Iowa, and then like you have Shoeless Joe and all the guys coming out of the outfields, and then they played the game at the fields, and that just like made it look even cooler. So that was one thing I liked about Rob is that he has incorporated a lot of neutral site games and like some more international games, like doing the Field of Dream games and stuff like that. I just love the movie. I can't deny it. So Field of Dreams is number one. I like Hardball as my honorable mention, actually.
And see, and see, and you just literally cracked my number one. That's
There
hard.
it is.
But here's the thing. I can't do, I gotta do both. Hardball and Angels in the Outfield
Oh, Angels in the outfield deserves a look too.
are both at
Outfield
number
was
one.
definitely better than Angels in the infields, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, Angels in the Infield, forget that. I don't know what that was. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
what that.
remember because I saw outfield. I was like, "Oh, this is sick." Infield, I was like, "This just looks like a run down version of outfield." I'm like, "This is
No,
not the same." Yeah,
Angels in the outfield with Danny
yeah,
Glover
that was
and
lit.
him, Mel Clark, he's got the whole pill thing. It's what baseball's about. Mel Clark is trying his best and he's on pills. I
Yeah,
was stuffing them throats down. I was stuffing them throats down you in Cincinnati. Like, and then you got the adoption thing.
Yeah.
Like there's so much going on. I think you got to put, and then the announcer who wants to fire the manager, who's yelling about, "I'm Rich Wilder. You can't fire me. I'm the
Oh
best
yeah.
announcer." Like you gotta. So Julian, you come full circle with that as being a baseball fan, then coming to be a commentator now. So I think that that's a big deal. Yeah, no, Field of Dreams is great, but I think Angels in the outfield, and I have to say that like it's about believing. That's what baseball's about. You never know. You see somebody fire a touchdown downfield, and it should be automatic. That's kind of how when a ball is in the air, people don't necessarily know this is an automatic out. Like it's there and it's looking and he's oh yeah, he's able to come up with it. Right?
Yeah, it's definitely a different game. And like Angels in the Outfield is a classic movie because like I watched it when I was a kid as well. So I should see it again to see how I feel about it now. It'll be fun. I gotta watch it sometime. It's been ages, so I
You
should
gotta
watch it
see it. The
again.
music is powerful.
Yeah,
Dun,
no, I remember
dun.
the storyline was compelling, and like I've just been
Yeah.
so long since I've seen it. I'd love to see how an older me feels about it.
All right, here we go. So now we said we were going to talk about Mike Trout, and we're running out of time. Mike Trout,
Okay,
biggest thing. 5 homers in 4 games, you said.
absolutely.
But somebody decided to brawl. But there was no real hitting, honestly. But Mike Trout, 4 home runs, well, 5 home runs in 4 games.
Yeah.
And somebody decides to stare people down. Julian, take us through this real quick so we
All
don't.
right, so a lot of stuff going on with this. We'll start with Trout in the brawl. So Trout has 7 bombs in the year now, and he's looking like his old self. He hasn't been this good in a while. So you have to remember the last time he was this good was probably 2023. He's had a few down years, but now it looks like he's getting back to form. So I think it's a big problem for the league, whoever's facing him. He hasn't hit 40 bombs since 2022, but if he keeps rolling like this, he can get that. He's going to be a Hall of Famer regardless. Obviously, one of the greatest players of our generation, and you have to question like why he stay with the Angels all this time. Hasn't made the playoffs since 2012. He's been in the league for 16 years, so you've wasted 13 years of the postseason appearance, and it's not like they've really come relatively close during that time either. But Mike Trout's elite. Do you question if he can go to another team as his career winds down? Maybe, but the Angels are hitting better this year. Like their offense is looking good for the first time in a while, but I still question their pitching staff. But they're right around 500 right now. They just split the series with the Yankees.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you look at the Angels year by year since Trout's been there. 78 wins. 2014, they won 98 games and they lost in the DS. I think that was actually the only time Trout made the playoffs. 2015, they won 85 games. They won 74, 80, 80, 72. Shortened seasons, don't count it, but 26,
And I'm gonna put
77.
these up. I'm gonna put these scores up if I can. Like I said, Julian, just give me some. I'll put these scores up, but I'm just
Okay,
saying, like I'm gonna put these up on the board.
all right.
Like, what in your mind, as a reporter,
The Angels haven't had a winning season since 2015. That's probably the best way to explain
like
it.
what? So what? I'm gonna sit here and I told you we were joking around, and I'm gonna joke around. And Trout is like, well, the checks are coming in, and nobody gives a fuck about what's going on. So I'm going to collecting the check. Thank you. I did my job, whatever. Do you feel that? I mean, I don't want to say that about Mike Trout, but I'm saying, is winning important to some of these athletes? Like, is it in or is just he knows that team? Look, come on, that team is trash. It's ass.
Yeah,
Like, and
they're
you're
bad.
still going into the season and being like, is loyalty at what point? You're a Jets fan.
Oh
What is
God.
it about with loyalty and where is your head thinking? Like as a reporter and as a fan, where is your head thinking? Like, okay, yeah, we love having you, but are you mad about the player not doing enough? Are you mad about the organization not doing enough? Or are you mad about like you've been part of organizations that are they've got the guy, but nobody else is around the guy. So I want to hear your full out view. Just give me the full out view.
Yeah, so baseball's like hard when you have because you can't win with one player, obviously. So it's an
Welcome to the
organizational feeling from
joint.
top to bottom. Obviously, is what's going on here. Trout's also been hurt a little bit, so
The
maybe
joint.
some chances of him getting dealt. But like he's never asked out. Like the rumors always circulate he should ask out, but he never actually.
Welcome to the joint. The joint.